In this video I'm going to show you how to make your lead guitar sound huge. Hey guys, welcome back. In this video I have a little production tip for you. It's very simple but super effective and can immediately step up your productions, and it's very easy to implement. I'm talking about layering lead guitars with synths. That's it. It's very simple and it's kinda common to use, but are you actually doing that in your songs? And also, are you sure you're using the right synth sounds? Because the results can vary quite a bit depending on the sound that you're using. So let me just open a project and let me show you what I'm talking about. So here's the section that we're gonna work with. Alright, so we have this guitar part here. So what I did here, I basically layered that same riff with a synth. In this case I'm using the Minimoog emulation by Arturia. Very cool synth, but you can use anything obviously. There's plenty of free options here. So in this case we're kind of going for an analog type of synth, which most of the time is going to complement guitars really well. So you're looking for the sawtooth wave because it kind of sounds like distortion in some way, so it really complements guitar well, I think. So in this case I have two oscillators, so two sound sources, two waveforms going at the same time, and they're both sawtooth, as you can see here. The second one is slightly detuned a little bit. I also have a unison turned on with some voice detune, so that's how you get like that analog sound. Basically detune every waveform slightly, so it kind of sounds like chorus in some way. So let's get rid of the effects for now, and let's hear how this synth sounds like. Alright, pretty basic, just two waveforms, two oscillators going. So this is without detune and without the second oscillator. If I turn on the second one and the unison, you can kind of hear that like chorus effect, makes it sound kind of more interesting. And then as far as filtering and ADSR, so attack, decay, sustain and release, you can set them as you want. So you have here the filter decay and also the amp decay. You can also automate this parameter and kind of have it changing over time. That's actually going to be very interesting. You know, you can do things like this. You can automate the filter. The more variations you can add, the more interesting it's gonna sound like. So kind of like this. Now to make it sound even more interesting, you can apply some effects. I really like delay and distortion. That is gonna make it really blend well with guitars, especially lead guitars. So I have quite a bit of delay going on here. And then distortion is probably the best way you can make it sound. You can make it blend with guitars. And I have just, you know, some EQ here to kind of make it fit into the mix. But that's it really. So another thing you can do, you can also turn on the glide, so you get that like portamento effect. And so if you make the notes bleed into each other by dragging them, basically like that, and then you can control the glide. Look for the portamento or glide parameter in your synth. Of course, you're gonna have to make sure your sustain is all the way up. So it's sounding quite nice at this point. Let's see how that sounds with guitars. Now let's hear the whole thing. So it's really adding a lot of depth into the arrangement, I think. You can also create different type of sounds depending on the part that you have. For instance, we could make this a shorter type of sound. Maybe if you have like a less intense section, maybe if we go back here, which is a bit more like intimate in some way. We could use a more plucky type of synth. Kind of like this. So yeah, it's kind of up to you, and obviously it's gonna depend on your arrangement and what you're trying to do. But in any case, make sure you don't overdo this type of stuff, because it's very easy to just clutter the arrangement with too many layers. Make sure every track is actively contributing to the arrangement. Anyway guys, that's it for today's video. Let me know if you enjoyed it in the comments, and let me know if you have any questions. As always, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video.